considered one of the toughest downhill courses in the world, the Kamikaze at Mammoth is both scenic and scary. Let's take a top-to-bottom look. Here's Charlie.
You feel like you're on top of the world at the summit of Mammoth Mountain, so strap on your helmet for the Eliminator simulator and hang on for the ride of your life. This ain't no video game. We are flying down the hill at over 40 miles an hour right from the start, dropping down from 11,053 feet. It's a 3.5-mile course, but right away we have a lot of pinball action. See those bumpers on the left? You don't want to be the human pinball. This is the fastest part of the course, right up top. Curveball flying down the hill as they approach the first funky turn. It's that left-hander, and there's all sorts of craziness going on there. You see the hay bales? We're at 1 mile, dropping down to 10,400 feet, and the speeds pick up on this quarter-mile straightaway. You can't even blink, because if you do, a rock may eat you up. Approaching into that other 180, this is a real funky turn because you go the inside, the outside, or see if the guy is going to ride off your wheel. We're at 10,000 feet, and now the speeds pick up probably faster than anywhere because they go from 45 miles an hour to over 52 as they whip into the speed trap. Over 50 miles an hour easy. Now into the tree line, so the first time you're going to see shadows. Those shadows could be hiding rocks or something that can throw you off your bike. Now you're drafting like an Indy car.
Half a mile from the finish. Big gear now. This is where you got to use it up. Every second counts.
Small bumps turn into big jumps at over 50+ miles an hour. You can hear the roar of the crowd coming up as you're getting down toward the finish line. 52 miles an hour, and now you're pedaling for all you got. You hang it out into that last turn, praying for traction as you figure this is it. Am I going to pass or am I going to go down? And you stay up and finish. And you made it this time.
Yeehaw! Let's take a look at the Elite Eight. Kunzelman and Kite, Cullinan and Tanner, Palmquist and Hasse-Biscay, Jake Watson and Jimmy Deaton. The men's quarterfinal featured races that set the tone for the rest of the day. Riders still trying out new stuff. Casey Kunzelman and Jimmy Kite squared off for the first heat with Kite winning in what was up to that moment the fastest run of the day, 4:44, 10 seconds better than the course record. Second run with a big time advantage. Jimmy Kite actually let Kunzelman pass him when he knew he had the race in the bag.
I'm stoked to ride a helicopter all this whole weekend. I'm like, I got to get into the Final Four so I can ride a helicopter because it'll be the first time in my whole life, so I'm ready.
A chopper ride to the top. That's just part of the bonus for making the Final Four. One of the most exciting matchups of the day, the duel between Dave Cullinan and Todd Tanner. Tanner had disposed of world champion Greg Herbold in the earlier round, and here it was Dave Cullinan getting a big advantage at the bottom of the course, almost 8 seconds. So as the second run began, it was Todd Tanner with a big 8-second margin to make up. Pushed Cullinan hard, but it was not to be.
The first round I have a little strategy. I try to go out hard the first round and stay on the guy's wheel. And that's the first time I've ever been behind somebody, and man, it's pretty, some sections are pretty dusty, and it's hard to stay on the guy's wheel, so I may have to change my strategy.
Dave Cullinan going to the front. Doesn't want to be breathing that dust. Side by side, jumps for fun out there on the upper part of the race course. Then the riders begin to move down into the trees, and it's do or die on the part of the course they call the freeway. Todd Tanner goes into the lead, and once again, Dave Cullinan is eating rocks and dirt, trying to stay close. But that's all he's got to do is keep Todd Tanner close. Remember that 8-second margin that Tanner's got to make up. He's pushing hard, and whoa! A loss of traction, a sudden gust of gravity. Todd Tanner's on the deck, and Dave Cullinan, looking back, just breezes to the finish. Let's take a look, Charlie.
Tanner had nothing to lose. He should be commended for going for it, and all Cully had to do, like you said, was just sit there and wait. So Cully advances, and Tanner gets some air venting in his tights.
The third group featured Eric Palmquist, the giant killer, against Bernard and Hasse-Biscay, the man with the giant name. Palmquist had already disposed of John Tomac and then insane Wayne Croasdale, but he was finding some problems with this 33-year-old who had very quietly gotten into the round of 8.
I just hope my legs hold up. I'm a little winded and tired. But this is a blast. This is such an adrenaline rush. I can't even believe it. Can't even describe it. It's a blast.
And he set a new course record, 4:43, beating Palmquist by over a second.
Second run, Eric Palmquist has to push it, and here he is in the lead. Knows he's got to beat Hasse-Biscay by 1.2. He looks to the left, and Bernie Yu comes around him on the right side. A lot of passing action in this heat.
All Bernard had to do was just keep Palmquist in his sights, and he did a perfect job at it as they came up to the line.
Eric Palmquist wins the second heat, but it's not by enough. Last pair in the quarterfinals. Number 1, Kamikaze King Jimmy Deaton against 6'3", 200-pound earthquake Jake Watson.
The only man to win this thing 3 times versus the Rookie of the Year, and these guys are thrashing their full suspension bikes, using it all up.
Well, when you have another person next to you, it just gets your adrenaline going. There's no backing down. You see the guy in front of you, you're gonna go over your head to get next to him. And the course is real smooth and laid out, and got the best riders here, so that's why.
2 straight wins. Jake Watson joins the Final Four. Let's take a look at the women's quarterfinal pairings. Devine and Fitzsimmons, Whitehead and Davidson, Saunier and Sinapu, DeBias and Missy G.